Holly, hello. It's coming. Just give it a second. There she is. So we've seen this table before. At the very top, we have masculine, feminine, neutrum, plural. Right? So those are our three grammatical genders, and then the plural. And then we have nominative. And then where we see nominative going across, we have er, sie, es, sie. And those are our pronouns. And they mean something like he, she, it, they. But remember, er, sie, es can also mean it, right? If you're talking about, for instance, der Stuhl, right? If you want to replace der Stuhl with a pronoun, you would use er, and that would look like he, but it would really mean it because it's referring to the stool. Okay? So, looking at these boxes where we have these four forms listed, we have der Stuhl, right? The stool, or the chair. Ein Stuhl, a chair. We haven't seen this form before, or we have, but we haven't really talked about it. Mein Stuhl. You can guess that means my chair, right? And then we have kein Stuhl, and that means no chair, or not any chair. Okay, so today we are going to spend some time looking at this third form that we see going across here. It hopefully is probably not intuitive, but it follows the same ending patterns as ein and kein, right? So this is what's called a possessive pronoun, right? So mine, my chair, your chair, their chair, our chair, right? So if you go across the row here, you'll see mein Stuhl, meine Lampe, mein Fahrrad, meine Fahrräder. So once again, where you have an E at the end of ein, so eine Lampe, you would have an E at the end of meine Lampe, right? So it's mein Stuhl, meine Lampe, and so on. And of course, where there's changes from the nominative to the accusative, there's going to be a change at the end of this thing. So einen Stuhl. Ich habe einen Stuhl. Siehst du meinen Stuhl? Do you see my chair? Siehst du meinen Stuhl? Okay. So I want you to maybe pause the video and take a look at this list on the left of the screen and try to intuit, is this thing that is possible? There's a couple of possibilities, right? Is this word Heft, Schere, Stühle, Stift, Radiergummi, whiteboard? Is this word masculine or neutral, right? Because those share an ending. Or is it plural or feminine? Because those share an ending, right? So mein Heft, deine Schere, süße Stühle, sein Stift, ihr Radiergummi, unser whiteboard. So pause and just consider these things and see if you can kind of guess whether it's masculine neutral or feminine plural. I'm going to take a tea of sip. I'm going to take a sip of tea for bravery here. Okay, so mein Heft, you might have guessed it. This is actually neutral, right? It has no E at the end of the possessive pronoun mein, right? So it's das Heft, and then it would be ein Heft, and then mein Heft. Okay, looking at Schere. Schere is scissors, and I think we talked about an instance of this before, but where we would say scissors plural, their scissors is singular, and so it's feminine. Deine, you see that E there, and so it would be eine Schere, and it's deine Schere. Okay, the next one is süße Stühle. Yeah, and so once again you see a E at the end of süß, which is the non-binary possessive, right? So it's either going to be feminine or plural, and indeed it's plural. So it's der Stuhl, the chair, and die Stühle, right? So this is plural. Sein Stift, we see no E, so it's either going to be masculine or neutral, and this one is masculine. It's der Stift. And then we see Ihr Radiergummi. And this is der Gummi, right? There's no E there, and so it would be ein Radiergummi. And then it becomes Ihr Radiergummi. And then finally we have whiteboard. And whiteboard has no E at the end of the possessive, and it's neutral. It's das Whiteboard. Okay, so here's what it looks like sort of going across, right? So when you look up a noun, it should either tell you, the dictionary should either tell you das Heft, die Schere, der Stift, or it should say Heft and then have an N in parentheses telling you this is neutral, or an F in parentheses telling you this is feminine, right? So going down the line, there would be das Heft, ein Heft if we want to say a notebook, right? And mein Heft if we want to say my notebook, right? And then die Schere, feminine. It should be eine Schere. That's a mistake in my PowerPoint slide. Whoopsala. Deine Schere. Okay? And then because Stühle is plural, there's no article there under unbestimmt, under the indefinite article. So it's die Stühle, Stühle, oder diese Stühle. Yeah? And this will be the last one that we look at here. Der Stift becomes ein Stift, sein Stift. Okay? All right. So this hopefully is a pretty easy practice for you. What you've got going on is a possessive pronoun, and it wants you to give the correct form for the noun given. So if you take a look at the first ones, mine is the possessive pronoun they want you to use, and then ed, and ed is the word for idea, and it's feminine. You say, okay, well, it's feminine. It takes that e there, right? Cool. So it's not mine Idee, it's meine Idee. Okay? Same thing with Eltern. Eltern, das ist Plural, yeah? Okay, Plural. Go over to the plural. You always see an E over there. Okay, so it's deine. All right, I'm going to suggest that you pause it here. Try to do these. See, it wants you to do it for the nominative and for the accusative. Okay? So consider that. See if you can figure it out, and then we'll do it together. Okay, I'm back. I never went anywhere. Okay. Wörterbuch, das ist neutral. And nominative, accusative, it doesn't matter. There's no E there, so it's sein Wörterbuch. All right. Ihr and Familienstand, so this is your family status, like are you single or are you married or whatever. Maskulin, no ending in the nominative, so it's just ihr Familienstand. Accusative, okay. Mein Bruder, maskulin in the accusative gets an en, so it's meinen Bruder. Frage, feminin, no change, but there is that e ending, both in the nominative and the accusative, so deine Frage. Same thing with Familie. That's also feminine, but you change, what the meaning of the possessive is. So dein means yours. Sein is his or its, right? So seine Familie. Okay. Ihr plus Kind. Kind is neutrum, also neutral. And in the nominative and in the accusative, there's no ending. So it's ihr Kind. Okay. Back to the nominative. Unser Fahrrad. Unser is the possessive meaning our, right? And there's no ending, right? So it's unser Fahrrad. Okay, Mannschaft. Okay, euer means y'all's. It's the informal, right? So it means y'all's. And when you put an ending on it, it gets rid of this second E. So it's eure. Eure Mannschaft, meaning y'all's team. Ihr plus Nachname. So once again, nominative, maskulin, no ending. Ihr Nachname. Ihr plus plural. So it's got that E, right? So it's ihre Hausaufgaben. And then back to the accusative, unser, and then plural, so that's that E ending over here. So it's unsere, yeah. Euer Sohn. Sohn is son, so this is masculine, but it's in the accusative, so it gets that en. So once again, you drop the second E in the word, and it's euren. Okay. And then ihr plus Hunde, so that's plural, ihre. And then Problem is neutral, so neutral doesn't have an ending, so it's ihr Problem. This, I would say, is a step above in terms of complexity. I understand that this is quite a lot to consider, but we want to practice it. It's nice to introduce it now because it does follow this pattern of eine, right? So that's why we're introducing it here. But don't be too frustrated with yourself. Don't beat yourself up too much if it's not coming immediately to you. It is complicated, but we're going to practice it and we'll just get used to it, right? All right. Hope you're having a good one. Till then, ciao.